Well, hello there, and welcome to the results for our pick a card for the week of February 16th through the 22nd. You were to select from card group number 1, card group number 2, or card group number 3. When you comment your card selection below by Monday, February 17th, you will automatically be entered to win our February giveaway. And each week that you do that, your name goes into the hat an additional time. So every time we have a pick a card reading, is a new opportunity for you to get your name in the hat. So I have a couple of very quick announcements before I go into the opening intuitive message. And I always tell you when I do the opening intuitive message that the things that I share with you there will pertain to what I will share in your results. And so you always want to listen to that or come back and listen to it after you listen to your results, because it will help you. It's like a bonus reading almost. So it gives you deeper insight and wisdom into that. And actually, in this particular opening intuitive message, I am going to look at the card that's on the bottom of this deck, something that I rarely do. But as I was laying the cards down, I felt like the card on the bottom had an additional message for us all. And so I will do that in the opening intuitive message. So you want to make sure you listen to that. But very quickly, just a couple of quick announcements. I do have this one more week. I've actually extended my sale on my class, The 9 Keys to Manifesting What You Want. It's actually a popular audio class that I did last year. Very simple to follow class. It's about an hour long audio, but very easy to understand on how to manifest what you want and to transform your dreams and what you desire into your manifested reality. And I extended it this week because this week's pick a card is all about manifesting what you want. And so I figured that it would be helpful with what we talk about or what I share in this pick a card reading. So that is available right now for only $9.99. And again, it's an over hour long class, and it comes with some worksheets that you can actually, write down some of the things that I share in that audio lesson. And as soon as you make your purchase, you have immediate access to it. And you can listen to it on any device, your computer, your smartphone, everything, in your car, whatever. So make sure you do that, because this will be the last week that I have that available at that price. Also, since half of this week we are in Aquarius season before we move into Pisces, I encourage you to watch Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, parts 1 and 2. Both of those links are down below. In part 1, I actually interviewed 2 Aquarian friends of mine to help us understand the Aquarius energy. We're going to talk about what is Aquarius energy like, what does it look like when it's vibrating on a high level, what does it look like when it's vibrating on a low level, how does it show up in your chart, and then both Mama Nia and I will pull our own oracle cards to share what everybody needs to know during Aquarius season. And then in part 1, that was in part 1, and then part 2, I actually go through each sign to discuss what everybody from Aries to Pisces needs to know during Aquarius season. Think about what each one of the signs from Aries through Pisces, what do you all most need to know, do or be aware of during Aquarius season? So I'm going to start with Aries. Aries, you're up first. And you know what I always tell you, it does not matter what your sun sign is. When we are in Aquarius season, everybody's in Aquarius. And when we go into Pisces season, I will have everybody's a Pisces. And all of these signs build upon each other. And we all carry all 12 signs of the zodiac in our birth charts. And so you want to know what you should be doing and focusing on during Aquarius season, because that's going to help you in Pisces. And then what you do in Pisces is going to help you when we get into Aries season, and so on down the line. And that's how you have a successful year. So make sure you watch Everybody's in Aquarius part 1 and 2. And then very soon I will have Everybody's a Pisces, including you, video available. And speaking of having a successful year, if you have not watched my annual reading of the year that I did back in January, that link is down below as well. The 2020 reading of the year, where I share pretty much everything that we all need to know and be aware of for the entire year, including when all of the planets are going retrograde and what does that mean and what we should all be focusing on in 2020. That video is down below. And like I just said, I stated in the video, I shared the retrogrades. And if you're watching this on February 16th or anytime after, we are entering into our first Mercury retrograde of the year. And so I talk about that in that video on what this first Mercury retrograde means for everybody. So make sure you watch that video as well. And that is pretty much it. Oh, actually, one more thing. For those of you, you may not know, but I co-facilitate a Rites of Passage program along with Neogela Hendricks Wilson. She is actually the lady that you see in the Aquarius video with me. We are working on we actually have open enrollment basically for our second Rites of Passage program. And so that is opened up to African American or people of color ages 22 through 32. And we are focusing on cultural and traditional practices that a lot of us don't receive in our upbringing. And so we are actually sharing that through an intensive year-long program with ages 22 to 32, because you're just really getting a hold of being an adult at that time. And a lot of times, as it is with most people, there's a lot that that you miss, perhaps, in growing up, as it relates to cultural practices, learning how to learning ancestor veneration, working on your genogram. We go through all of that, which is basically learning about your family in an in-depth way. Different healing modalities. Miss Hendricks Wilson is also a licensed therapist, so you get therapy sessions within that, and then we travel. We have a retreat. We do so much. And so if you are interested, the deadline to apply to that program is February 21st, and you must request an application in order to apply. And the application is quite detailed. And so you want to make sure that you get your application ASAP. And the way to do that is to email me. So my email address is down below. If you are interested, and you want to get that as soon as possible, because the application itself is several pages long and very intense. And so you want to make sure you give yourself time to be able to reflect on the questions and answer and submit it by February 21st. Now, so much of the, we will be meeting at least twice a month in Greensboro, North Carolina, or in that area. So I will say that this is open to people who are in the Greensboro Triad area. You can be anywhere in North Carolina, but just understand that you would need to meet in person. And so you also need to be mindful of your commitment level to see, this is not an online at Rites of Passage. This is done in person. And so you want to make sure that you are able to meet us in person to do that. All right. So that is it for my announcements. And so let's go ahead and get into this opening intuitive message. Woo. All right, y'all. So this week, February 16th through the 22nd, we have several things going on. Mercury goes retrograde on the 16th. It starts going retrograde, which if you watched last week's pick a card reading, I really talked about that retrograde energy and what so many of us are experiencing. It's been a lot of, I've witnessed a lot of miscommunication, a lot of misunderstandings, which lead to relationship breakdowns, arguments, an antagonistic energy. And a lot of that is typical of Mercury retrograde, only because most people don't know what it is and they don't know to be mindful, to listen more, to be clear on what they're saying, to not jump to conclusions and all of that. And so, I won't go into a whole lot of detail about that here, because last week I did talk extensively in the opening intuitive message about Mercury retrograde. And I also talk about it in the 2020 reading of the year. I explained this particular Mercury retrograde. I mean, I might talk about it again later, but I don't feel that I need to go too in depth in that right here, other than to say that Mercury retrograde is really just the time when we are to be mindful of our words. We are to be mindful of our energy. We are to be mindful not to rush in anything, rushing in travel, rushing in making decisions, second guessing ourselves. When we know what the truth is, we just need to just stick with the truth. And so, this is really a self-reflective time. Mercury retrograde can actually be a really great time when we use it to self-reflect, when we use it to take our time and to make sure that the decisions and choices that we're making are of our best and highest good. What I really want to talk about more so in this open intuitive message is the fact that this week we start out this week in Aquarius season, and then on the 18th, I believe it is, the sun goes into Pisces. So then we go into Pisces, and so we are experiencing the sun being in two signs this week. And Aquarius is all about helping us all to become visionaries, helping us all to see beyond what is seen, and to just know, you can call it intuition, but is that Aquarius energy is very much just knowing without necessarily having been told, without having read the books, without, whatever. It's just a knowing. And that's why a lot of times, if you watch that Everybody's in Aquarius, including you video, part 1, when I interviewed 2 Aquarians, and they talk about just, always growing up with this sense of knowing, or this sense of awareness, and how sometimes isolating that can be, because you and you can see things that other people aren't fully aware of. And if you don't cultivate that energy within yourself, it can actually, I don't want to say make you go crazy, but it can just be so isolating. The visionary in all of us is different, because in order to be a visionary, you have to see what everybody else can't see yet, right? And so with us having all of us being in that visionary energy for the first part of this week, and then entering into Pisces, which is really about the dreams in our imagination. It goes beyond just the visionary piece. It really is kind of otherworldly. Pisces energy sometimes can be very ungrounded, and I say that not in a meaning in a negative way, but even though it can just kind of tip over into that, but in its highest vibration, it is very dreamy and imaginative and sensory. So when you think about how a lot of musicians and artists sometimes tend to be Pisces, or they have several planets in their chart in the sign of Pisces, because in order to tap into that music or artistic energy, you have to go into your imagination. You have to feel. You have to be mused. Right? You have to have something beyond what is tangible, beyond what is seen, to inspire you to create something new, something that a new sound, a new piece of art, a new poem, a new, all of those kinds of things. It requires that dreamy and that imaginative state. It requires that, your mind not be so grounded and so latched on to everything you already know, because if you only stick with everything you already know, how can you dream in a new world? How can you imagine something new and different? Whether that be a piece of art, or whether that be a whole new life experience, right? And so that's why this week we are looking at what we almost need to know, do, and be aware of in order to manifest our desires, because the combination of that Aquarius and Pisces energy this week is all about being aware of something that is not yet manifested, right? So it is all about knowing what lies ahead, but also dreaming and imagining. But we don't want to stay only in dreaming and imagining. We want to be able to pull our dreams down into the physical world, into the physical reality. And that requires that we, on one hand, allow ourselves to dream and envision and imagine, and to allow our minds to, you know, to almost be childlike in a way. Meaning, when you look at children, they're able to dream and imagine whole worlds while they're just sitting in their bedroom or their living room, right? They can, excuse me, they don't mind, they don't have a problem allowing their minds to drift into the fantasy world. And when we become adults, sometimes we lose that, or we forget that part of ourselves, because we're so grounded in reality. We're so grounded in, our responsibilities and the bills that have to be paid, and where we have to be, and what time, and when we have to be at work, and, all of our physical, worldly responsibilities, that we forget to dream. And so then life becomes this thing that is so not fun anymore. That's not pleasurable anymore. There's no excitement anymore, because we're not dreaming anymore. And so this week I'm encouraging all of us to remember to dream, to remember to make time for our imagination, to fantasize, and it's not because Pisces on its lower energy becomes so imaginative that it's so out of touch with reality that it escapes reality. We don't want to do that, but we do want to allow ourselves to remember what it's like to dream and to fantasize and to imagine something new, even do something exciting this week, just something new and exciting that is just for no other reason than it just seems pleasurable and fun for you to do. And so, as promised, I will go ahead and flip this deck over. I have not looked at it yet to see what the bottom of the deck is. And like I stated earlier, it's not something I usually do, but I felt that it needed to be done. And I don't know what's going to be under here. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. The High Priestess. Wow. This is one of my favorite cards personally of the deck. The High Priestess. Oh, and this is a major arcana card. So this is something we all really need to pay attention to. The High Priestess, I almost can't even get it out, y'all. Bear with me. The High Priestess, the energy of the High Priestess, and I'm going to say she because obviously priestess, but this message, whether you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter. The High Priestess is speaking to everybody. And we all carry this kind of energy within us somewhere. The High Priestess is intuition. She is I don't want to say just the dream state. She is what dreams are made of. She is not bound by the physical world or bound by reality. She is not limited to reality. She is outside of the physical world, and she is the one who then can manifest anything, because she uses her intuition. She uses her spiritual knowledge It's deeper than that. It's not even spiritual knowledge. She is the spiritual knowledge. She is the spiritual knowledge. She is the higher knowledge. She is your intuition. She is your imagination, and your dreams. That is that energy that, wow, okay, for everybody this week. To When this card appears, it is very important that you don't limit yourself only to your intellect and your knowledge and what you know, because what you know is not enough. Even scientists say we only use who knows how true that is, but that we only use a certain portion of our brain, or we're only consciously aware of a certain portion of our brain. So even that says you can only, our knowledge is limited. Your knowledge is limited. My knowledge is limited. It's limited to our experiences. It's limited to the schooling that we've had. It's limited to the books that we've read. It's limited. But, even if you think about books, you've only read but a certain amount of books, right? You've only watched a certain amount of documentaries. You only have met a certain amount of people. So even what you know, what you have learned is limited. So because what we know and what we have learned is limited and finite, right? We have to tap into the high priestess energy, which is infinite wisdom, which is intuition. This is a very good week to learn to listen to your intuition, to trust your intuition. This is also a great week where your meditations and your prayers have to go up, have to be increased. Make a habit this week of, meditating in the morning and meditating again at nighttime. Make a habit of this week of perhaps even keeping a notepad by your bed, because your dreams might be, you may dream more this week. It's possible for some of you, and you don't want to forget the wisdom that comes to you in your dreams. So as soon as you wake up, just even if I've done this before, where I've written down my dreams before I even open my eyes, and so then when I look at it later, the writing is all over the paper and crazy looking, because I did it with my eyes closed. But this is the week to perhaps write down your dreams so you don't forget them, because the wisdom may come to you in your dreams. The high priestess deals with your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind, not with your intellect, not with what you think you know, but what is down in the subconscious mind. And so this is the time, if you are seeking guidance, it's not necessarily going to come by what you read in a book, by what you know. And even if it comes through what was read in a book, it's because you intuitively felt like you needed to open a particular book because the information you needed was in it. It's not going to be because you knew to go there. It's just your intuition. You allowed your intuition to guide you. So this week, allow your intuition to guide you, and if you know in your heart and your core that something is true, or that you need to do a certain thing, don't let your intellect talk you out of it, but do what you intuitively know you need to do at this time. All right. So that is it for the opening intuitive message, y'all. Again, make sure you click all the links down below for the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. This is the last week that you will be able to download that class for only $9.99, and you will get instant access to it. Watch Everybody's an Aquarius, including you, parts 1 and 2. Go back and look at the opening, the reading of the year, the 2020 annual reading of the year, and also book your own personal readings. These readings here are general, they're for everybody. But if you have specific questions for your life, you want to book a personal reading, the Clarity Now reading, or if you want to delve deeply into your birth chart, get the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, the full one, or the miniature one where we just look at your sun, moon, and rising sign. And then also leave a love offering or donation. I don't care if it's only $5. It's all about the law of reciprocity. So if you're receiving, if these readings are benefiting you in any kind of way, then consider leaving a donation, and that link is down below as well. All right, so that is it. Card group number 1, your reading is up next. All right, greetings and welcome to the results for card group number one. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure that you click the link down below to download your copy of the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. This is the last week that you will be able to get that full 1 hour audio class for only $9.99. And it's very easy. It's a class that really guides you through the basics of manifestation. And I decided to extend that sale this week because this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to manifest your desires. Also, make sure that you book your own personal reading. That link is down below. Leave a love offering or a donation as well if these are benefiting you. And then watch Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, because we're still in Aquarius season at the beginning of this week, and then we go into Pisces season. And then lastly, make sure you go back and listen to the opening intuitive message, because this is the first time that I did a bottom of the deck reading, so you kind of get a bonus reading this week. And so you want to make sure you rewind back to the beginning of this entire episode and watch and listen to the opening intuitive message. All right, so I kept trying to turn your stone because this is a labradorite. You know, sometimes they shine. Can you see it a little bit? You see that little? No. The way the light is right now in this room is not. Anyway, you can Google labradorite so you can see it in its full glory. But labradorite, I love this stone. It's one of my favorites. It is one of those stones that really helps with you realizing your dreams, knowing what your dreams are, and then fulfilling them. It is one of those stones that helps you in knowing which direction to go in your life. It helps to bring, oh, am I doing it? You see how it's turning blue and bright? Okay, y'all, I'm trying to get it together. Anyway, it's one of those stones that helps you to bridge the gap between your spiritual self and your physical self. So sometimes they can seem so separate, and you may have spiritual desires and physical desires, and you just don't know how to bring it together. Labradorite helps you to balance. That's a good word for it. Helps you to balance your spirit and your physical self. It helps to pull out anything that's like dormant within you that you need to bring to the surface. I mean, like good stuff, you know, like you have, you know, hidden desires or hidden capabilities, or, you know, things that maybe are resident within you just spiritually, but you're not aware of them, so you can't make use of them in the physical world at this time. And so labradorite is really, really good at that. And so if you want to know more about this stone, I'm really trying, y'all. The window is over there, so if you were on that side, you could probably really see it. But anyway, if you want to know more about the stone, you know what I always tell you to do: Google labradorite. All right, so this week, February 16th through the 22nd, we're looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to manifest your desires. And with this being halfway in Aquarius and halfway in Pisces this week, two signs that deal with otherworldliness, basically, and being knowledge, having a knowing and a vision, but also your imagination and your dreams. This is the perfect week to get into all of that. And so these cards here, on the one on the bottom is your general wisdom and guidance where you are now. And the card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. Then I'm going to flip this card because it's going to give you kind of an outcome. So what do you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to, as it relates to manifesting your desires at this time? Ooh, okay, so you got the Knight of Swords and the Lovers. The Knight of Swords, and it was crossed by the Lovers. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. Some of you this week may be wanting, okay. Some of you this week may be wanting to move very swiftly into what you want, or maybe wanting to move very quickly into what you may believe or think is the right way to go. The Knight of Swords, as you see, he's got his, let me see, this light might help. Yeah. The Knight of Swords is, whenever I see this card, he's 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 ready to go, right? He's ready. He's got his sword up high. His horse is up on the hind legs, about to to rush forward. There's no fear, right? There's only action, and I love this card in the sense that in its fearlessness, in the fearlessness that you might be perhaps feeling at this time. This might be the time or the week where you get an awareness or knowledge about something, because the swords represent knowing. So you might get information, like literal, like information about something that prompts you to want to move swiftly, quickly, fast. Like, oh yeah, to. And some of you, it might be information. Yeah, some of you, it might be information that makes you want to move swiftly in a aggressive way. Meaning, like if somebody said something about you, or somebody did something that you feel like, oh, I'm gonna go handle this right now. Some of you may be feeling it in that way, but then again, some of you, it may just be that you get information about something or something you want to act on very quickly. The downside to this, though, is that sometimes the Knight of Swords is hasty. And so because I know, number one, that we have entered into a Mercury retrograde on the 16th, which is the swords are being all about information and knowledge, and Mercury representing information and knowledge and your intellect and your words and your communication and how you move, like how you travel and all that kind of stuff. But when Mercury is retrograde, we are encouraged to not move so hastily, to not just speak blah 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 blah, just open your mouth and just go off, or just to act impulsively. It's not the time to act impulsively. So when I combine this Mercury retrograde with everything that I shared in the opening intuitive message, I ain't gonna tell you here because you should go back and listen to it. It makes me a little concerned that you might feel that impulse to act because in the moment it feels right, but it might not have the long-term outcome that you desire. So if you're feeling that hastiness, I'm going to advise you to think twice, and especially because it is crossed by the Lovers. Now, the Lovers is, sometimes when you see this card, yeah, it technically does deal with, your love relationships. And so for those of you who are perhaps feeling a hasty move in terms of your relationships, Mercury retrograde is the time when sometimes old lovers come back, and it might feel right in the moment, but it's really designed to help you to recognize that you have gotten out of something that perhaps you should leave alone. And so if an old relationship comes back to you and in your heart of hearts that it wasn't good for you, then don't rush back into it. But what I'm also feeling is that for some of you, you might be feeling hasty. You as a solitary individual might feel like you want to make certain moves that are not necessarily beneficial for you as a couple. So if you are married, or you're in a committed partnership, and you are feeling like you want to go one way because it's good for you, you need to consider how it's going to be good for us. You know what I'm saying? Not just you, in this partnership. Consider, and even if you're not married, let's just say you just have children, or you are responsible for people on your job or whatever. Like, consider how your hasty move will impact everybody else who is connected to you. Because sometimes when we are in this Knight of Swords energy, it, we hear something or we know something or we get an idea about something and we just want to run with it, but we don't have enough information to make wise choices. And so if you're too hasty, then you your decisions and your decision to act before considering how it will impact everybody can actually come back to bite you. You know what I mean? So you want to be mindful of that. Like, so if you get new information, if you get a new awareness about something, or you get a new idea about something, run it by your partner. Like, have real conversations and be patient. Again, Mercury retrograde plus everything I shared with you in the opening intuitive message indicates that you need to take your time. You need to consider how, you can't just, this is not the time to rush. This is not the time. I'm not saying you can't move or that you can't take action on your dreams, since this week we're talking about how to manifest your dreams and whatnot. I'm not saying that you can't, but again, we are talking about how to manifest your dreams, right? So if I say we're gonna talk about, how to build a house, is not how to build a house the fastest way. It's about how to build a house the best way. So since we're talking about, because you build it fast, it could, it's not going to stand. Likewise with your dreams, we're talking about how to manifest them, but not necessarily how to manifest them the fastest way. It's about how to manifest them the best way. And so if you're trying to get something quick and fast, or you want to make impulsive decisions without understanding how it's going to impact you in the long run, and so you make hasty choices, then that could actually come back to hurt you later. So you want to have the conversations with the right people, talk with your partner, talk with your spouse, talk with those who will be impacted by your decisions, and be patient. Because I'm feeling like for some of you, when you first run your ideas by them, they're going to be like, I don't know. Yeah, and then, that feeling when you share your dream with somebody and they ain't feeling it yet, then you get all in your feelings because y'all just don't understand. Y'all trying to hold me back. And it's not that if they love you, it's not that they don't want you to manifest your dreams or that they don't want you to have, your desires. Is that perhaps they are seeing things that you're overlooking in your haste. So be patient even with them. Listen. Again, because with us being in Mercury retrograde, you've got to open both your ears and listen to what they have to say, because there's going to be wisdom in that, and they can perhaps show you something that you're overlooking, so that you can still get to your dream, you can still manifest it, but it will be better because you would have done it in the most wise way. And so the outcome of all of this, or the outcome card that was pulled, the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is a card of kind of like disappointment in a way, or like a sense of emotional detachment, or emotional like pouting almost, because of frustration, because you didn't get the emotional fulfillment that you wanted. What I like about the Four of Cups is that you see, he's a new cup, a new emotional fulfillment, a new opportunity is being handed to him. But look at him, he's sitting here like a little kid pouting by the tree because he's looking at these other cups that he can't reach, right? Or whatever. And so some of you this week, you may be feeling like, if you share your dream, or if you share your idea with someone that you love, or with people that you think will support you, and then they don't just immediately jump on board, that you feel a sense of disappointment, or you feel like it's not happening fast enough. But the Four of Cups is also indicating that you're looking in the wrong direction. There's another opportunity coming, or there's a better opportunity coming, or there's a better way of getting what you want. So it's not that you won't get what you want, is that, it really is reminding me of like a kid. If you remember when you were a child, or maybe you have children, and they're like, "Ooh, I want to go to McDonald's right now," and you're like, "Okay, well, we'll go to McDonald's, but after we go to the, I gotta stop by the grocery store first. I gotta do whatever." And they're so disappointed because they didn't get what they wanted right then, and they're sitting in the back seat all pouting and everything. And it's like, you're still going to get what you want. It's just going to come to you at a better time. It's going to come when, when we're getting ready to go home, and then you can eat, while you're watching TV instead of, like, it's going to be better if you just wait, And so that's what this Four of Cups is saying. Is like, you might find yourself pouting because you feel like your dream is being deferred or is being delayed, but it's not being delayed. It's coming to you in a better way. And those who really love you, it's not that they're not supporting you, is that, especially if they really love you and they really do believe in you, is that they perhaps have wisdom or insight on how to get what you want in a better way, in a better timing. And so again, go back and listen to the opening intuitive message, because if I read the bottom of the deck, and the card that was pulled deals with exactly what I just said. So make sure you go back and listen to that at the beginning. So your wisdom card that was pulled, building blocks. So I'm going to read what that says. I know that building blocks deals with, when you're building something new, when you are needing to have a plan for where you want to go. So building blocks says strong foundation. Strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. So this is very interesting. I'm going to read the prosperity message. It says, you have everything you need to turn iron into gold in the alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream. And remember that you always have more than enough, and you are always enough. So abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired, and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are meant for success. So keep your head up. Cheer up, Charlie. Do y'all ever see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? The original one, they were singing "Cheer Up, Charlie." Cheer up. If you're feeling like this anytime this week because you feel like, you just want to rush towards your dream and you don't feel like it's happening fast enough, cheer up. It's coming. Build, though, on a strong foundation. That's what building blocks is saying. Remember your core values, your beliefs. Remember your own power. Remember who you are. Remember your values. So if you rush towards something, then you have to, it's like you have to discard your values and your core beliefs because you're in a rush. But when you build something properly, you build it with integrity. You build it based on your core values. There's nothing worse than a builder who builds a house, with cheap products, with material that they know is not going to stand the test of time, only because they want to build it quickly and make a quick buck and whatever, and it ends up destroying their name. Then nobody trusts them. But when you build on a solid foundation, then you're trustworthy. Then people will trust your vision even more. So don't rush the process. Take your time, and it will actually come to you more quickly than what you think it is. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush. You will get to where you want to get to if you keep your head up and don't be disappointed. and listen to those who genuinely love you. All right. So that is it for your reading this week, February, what's this week, 16th through the 22nd. Make sure you comment your card selection by Monday, February the 17th, if you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway. And then make sure you click all of the links down below to get everything that I've already shared with you plenty of times already, and to also leave a love offering, also known as a donation. Look at that. Look at it. You see it shining now? You see it? Anyway, love offering or donation if these readings are benefiting you. No donation is too big or too small. It's just all about reciprocity. And so that link is down below. And until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. All right, greetings and welcome to the results for card group number 2. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure that you comment your card selection by Monday, February 17th if you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway. Each week that you do that, your name is added an additional time, which increases your chances of winning. Also, make sure you click down below to get the audio class, The 9 Keys to Manifesting What You Want, for only $9.99. That's an over hour long audio class on the simple ways of manifesting what you want time and time again. This is the last week that it will be available at that price, and you get instant access to it as soon as you purchase. So make sure you get that. Also this week, since part of this week we're in Aquarius season and the other part we're in Pisces, you want to make sure that you go ahead and watch part 1 and part 2 of Everybody's in Aquarius, including you. No matter what your sun sign is, we're still in Aquarius season. So if you do what you got to do in Aquarius, then it's going to help you when we get into Pisces season. Go back and listen to or watch my annual reading of the year for 2020. Book a personal reading. These readings that you see here are very general and they're open. You're not the only one who selected card group number 2. But if you have a specific question about your life, you can get the Clarity Now reading. I also offer a 1-card energy reading. And then we have the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, where I look at your entire birth chart, and the mini edition of that, where I just look at your sun, moon, and rising signs. And so the link to book those readings are down below. Leave a love offering or donation if these readings are benefiting you. Like, subscribe, share. And then also, oh yeah, if you skipped ahead, you definitely missed my opening intuitive message, where I actually, for the first time in a pick a card, read the bottom of the deck. And what came out, y'all, is really going to help with what I'm going to share here. So after you listen to this, go back and to the beginning of this video where I did the opening intuitive message, because it will give you further clarity and insight on what I'm sharing with you here. All right. So the stone that you have on the top is a selenite. And selenite is one of those kind of like angelic stones, if you will. Like, it really helps you to connect to your intuition. And I just wanted to use it this week because we are looking at manifesting, but we're looking at it from, with us being partially in Aquarius and also Pisces season this week, both signs that deal with knowledge and being a visionary, along with using your imaginative and intuition, your intuitive gifts. Selenite really helps with that. It helps to bring clarity to your mind. It helps you to receive divine messages from, your higher self, from if you work with, angels or your ancestors and whatnot. It helps you to hear more clearly. It helps with opening up your lines of communication, which is really good because we have entered fully into Mercury retrograde on the 16th. So is very useful for that. So you know what I always tell you to do if you want to know more about this stone? Guess what? Google selenite. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So these 2 cards here are going to get you going, and then this card here is going to be kind of an outcome card. So the bottom one is your general wisdom. This card here, your general wisdom and guidance. The card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. And you receive the Page of Swords, and it is crossed by the Two of Cups. Okay, gosh. All right. The Page of Swords, and it is crossed by the Two of Cups. Remember, this week we're looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to manifest what you want, in order to utilize your knowledge and whatnot. I'm trying to balance this. Okay, let me get it together. With your imagination and your intuition. The Page of Swords is a card, is because it's a swords card, it does deal with knowledge. It does deal with information and your intellect and all of that kind of stuff, which is very interesting with us having this Mercury retrograde. Mercury also being the planet of, your intellect and your communication and what you know and information and all of that kind of stuff. But the page is a babe in the information world, meaning it's like when you first get information about something. You don't know all the details. You're not an expert. You don't have a PhD. You are in the basics. You just found out that blue and yellow make green, but you're not Picasso. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just found out the H2O is water, but you're not a chemist. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Page of Swords is when you come into new knowledge and new awareness, and your mind is just opening up. This could be you just got new information about something. This could be you just got a new idea about something. Since we're talking about manifestation, you could really just be at the beginning stages of knowing what you want to manifest, but not knowing everything that entails. For example, you might know that you want to be an actress, but you might not know every detail about what it means to, get headshots and get an agent. And, do you need to move to Los Angeles, or can you, stay in the city and state in which you live? You know what I mean? So, it's like you're in the beginning stages of the awareness of your dream, or maybe you're just getting new information about that. And so this week is what I like about the Page of Swords is that this is the time to really gather information. This is the time to know what you don't know and to allow yourself to grow in what you don't know. And know your limitations. Know that that you do have some growth to do, but with it being a Page of Swords, it's still exciting because you're learning about what you want. You're learning more about it. You're going deeper, and that's what makes it so fun in a way and exciting. With it being crossed by the Two of Cups, the cups really deal with your emotions, and your feelings. But the Two of Cups is really like a card of partnership and balance. Even if you're not in a love relationship or you don't have a partner right now, it is about balance. It's about bringing your emotional self into balance, meaning knowing your counterpart, knowing if you think about it like this, it's like when you do enter into a relationship or even just a partnership with somebody, you know your part, and then you know the part that they bring, and then the two of you balance that out. So the Two of Cups, whether you are in a love relationship or not, really is about balancing your emotional self, balancing what you knowing what you have, and also knowing what you need, or what would complement, that's the word I'm looking for, what will complement the gifts that you already have. So this is very interesting because, I was about to read that kind of like a love reading. And for some of you, it may be, that your lover, your partner, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your significant other, whoever is supporting your vision, is supporting you, and rallying you on and giving you love and encouraging you. And that really may be the case for a lot of you. But at the same time, it could also mean that you are finding what complements you. You're finding what balances you. You're finally beginning to step into doing what you love, manifesting what you love, knowing what you need in order to balance yourself in what you knowing your limited knowledge, as this page of swords is indicating, knowing that you're just now getting excited about, something new, or learning something new, or experiencing something new, and then finding the balance of that supports that, finding that even a group, even finding the group of people who are like you, who are like-minded, who love what you love, who enjoy doing what you do, and through that that group, let's just say you're an actor. I'm gonna keep using that as an example. Let's just say you're an actor and you finally find like another group of people in your community who love theater, and you're like, wow, I'm not the only one. So it's like you find your counterpart, you find your other half, in finding others who love what you love, and that supports you, in that you grow through that partnership, through that engagement with others. You grow in what you didn't know. Now you start learning more because you're around others who also love what you love, who are also studying what you're studying, who are also opening themselves up to these experiences. And so this might be a great week to surround yourself with people who love what you love, because the Two of Cups deals with love. It's that love energy. It's that emotional self. It's that fulfillment, is being emotionally fulfilled. And so this will be a great week to be around those. And this could be your significant other, or it could just be a group of people who love what you love, who are excited about what you're excited about, who just being in their presence helps you to grow, helps you to learn more and know more, and to be able to expand. And through that, then your own, what started off as a small desire, which started out as a small awareness of what you want, then expands and expands and expands. There's nothing like being around people who love what you love, because then the conversations are endless. The vibe just continues to go on and on and on. Like you can feel like y'all have only been talking for 30 minutes, and you look and it's like, wow, we've been talking for 3 hours, because we all love what we're doing. We all love what we're talking about. And so find yourself in those circles, or even share with your significant other this new idea that you have, or this idea that's kind of budding within you that you don't really fully know how to articulate yet. It's just a small awareness or a new clarity about something that that you want. And you may find it surprising that then your spouse, your partner, your lover, whoever, actually supports what you might be hesitant to even share it, because you're in this Page of Swords energy, which is youthful, which is like when you just get a new idea about something, but you don't know if you want to tell people yet, because it might sound stupid, or they might not understand. And then you'll be surprised that they do understand, that they do support you, that they're encouraging you, and they pour out. You see these cups pouring that love energy on you, and support and encouraging words. And so you might find this to be a week where sharing your new ideas actually becomes a healing thing for you, because now it's not just something you're holding in, afraid to talk about, but you actually share it, and people listen and they support you. So find your tribe, find your crew, open your heart, or open your mouth, and communicate your desires to those who you feel will love and support you. And so the outcome card, or supporting card to all of this, wow, the Devil. Why did I know that this card, something like this, was going to pop up? Okay, well, this is the monkey wrench. Okay, so the Devil, for this card to appear, the Devil represents temptation, right? The Devil represents even addictions. Now, this could be literal addictions, such as drugs, alcohol, sex, that sort of thing. But it could also be in a way of being, a way of doing things in the past, that because it's become your habit, you're addicted to it. Like you don't even know how to get out of that trap. If you look at these people, they got these chains around their neck, but look how big them chains are. They could easily take those chains off, but they won't. So my question to you is, what are you bound to that you won't set yourself free from? Usually, ultimately, that's what this card means. I know people get scared when they see the Devil, but The devil is somebody or something that you can free yourself from, that you are refusing to free yourself from. So what is that? Sometimes, and a lot of times when I do readings and that card comes out, the person is usually dealing with, sometimes it's their attitude, it's their behavior, it's their way, of doing things that is limiting them. And because they've always been that way, because they've always done things that way, it's hard for them to see another way of doing things or another way of being. So what way are you being that is not helping you? Do you think you know too much? Perhaps you're the person who's like, oh, I don't need to share my desires with, the ones that I love, or, or anything like that, because I don't even believe love is possible. Or last time I shared how I felt, they made me feel bad. I don't know, but for some of you, receiving this devil card, and the devil card is a major arcana card, meaning it is something that you need to pay attention to, but it's something more than likely within you. Perhaps you have never, I'm really feeling like for some of you, you've never stepped out on faith, because your mama never stepped out on faith, your daddy never stepped out on you, your whole family has always done things a certain way, and so you're the first one. And so you want to be open and sharing and loving and receive the love and all that kind of stuff. You want to do new things. You want to find a new group of people to share your love and your desires with. But because you perhaps were brought up around people who have a problem with you even dreaming big, then you keep limiting yourself, So that's up to you. That's up to you to really reflect on and come to a conclusion about. And as I stated at the very beginning, when I suggested that you book a personal reading, because these are very general. So I'm giving tons of examples because I don't know who selected card group number 2. But I highly suggest that if you selected card group number 2, that you book the Clarity Now reading, where you can ask specific questions about your life, because this devil card is a very limiting. It's something you are allowing yourself to be bound to, that ultimately it will be you who suffers from it. It will be you who won't manifest your dreams. It will be you who will be still living a stagnant life because you chose to stay bound to a way of being, belief systems, old patterns, your family, how they always did things, all that kind of stuff, instead of breaking free from it. So it's usually when the devil card appears, it's something that you are bound to, that you think you can't come out of, because it's been so prevalent in your life for so long, but actually you can. The devil energy, and when I say the devil, I mean, it's just because that's the name of the card. But anything, basically the devil card is anything that keeps you bound, that keeps you limited, that keeps you from living your purpose, from living your dream. And ultimately you do that for so long, you never get free from it, but it is something you can get free from. But it's designed to keep you bound all the time. And so it's your choice. It's your choice. It's your choice to be free. It's your choice to be free. I'm going to say it again. It is your choice to be free. And it's also your choice to remain bound. Which will you choose? So the wisdom card that came up for you, wow, is Yang. This card rarely comes up in my readings for whatever reason. Yang is a power energy. It's forward energy. It's action. And so I'm going to read what this card has to say. Yang, the masculine principle of movement and creative activity, the power to make things happen, taking action. Yang represents the power of action, the energies that propel the world forward, and manifesting thought and desire into concrete form. Wow. Now is the perfect time to act, for you can easily build momentum and make headway. What you want will come come to fruition if you proceed confidently. This card signifies new life and is a sure sign that obstacles have been overcome. There is no reason to hesitate. You are the shaper of your destiny now. The prosperity message says, projects, partnerships, and all matters relating to your business are out of the obstacle phase and on to the make it happen phase. Now is the time to stake your claim and get things done. While you can expect to be busier than usual, this card tells you that you have all the energy and vitality you need to accomplish your goals. Abundance is waiting for you to claim it. Wow. And then the relationship message says, circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement toward your highest good. So go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now's the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. Wow. So all in all, Yang is that card of action. It's the card of movement. It's the card of, okay, this is not the time to sit still. This is the time to do what you know needs to be done, which makes a lot of sense, seeing as how you have this devil card, because the devil is the card that keeps you from acting in your highest and best good, keeps you stagnant, keeps you bound, keeps you limited. And so you have the power. Look at that fireball, right? You have the power to break free from anything that you think you don't have the power to break free from. I don't care how long it's been in your life. I really don't care how long it has been in your life. You know, anything that keeps you bound, limited, keeps you from living your purpose, keeps killing your dreams before they can manifest, is not of your best and highest good. All right. And so you have the power and the energy and the momentum and the vitality to do what it takes to break free from it. That is, if you want to live your dreams in a way that is lovely for you. All right. So you got this. But again, it's your choice. It's your choice. The devil can't hold you when you choose to break free and you do everything that is necessary to break free and to break forth and to move forward with passion and purpose. All right. So that is your reading this week for February 16th through the 22nd. Make sure that you comment your card selection by Monday, February 17th, that is. Yeah. If you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway, make sure that you click all of the links down below to get everything I already mentioned to you. This is the last week to get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want for only $9.99. Get full access to that class. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, leave a love offering. Oh, and go back and listen to the opening intuitive message that I did somewhere way back in the very beginning of this video, because it's going to help you to have a deeper understanding of what I shared here. Okay. So that is it. And until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching. Well, hello there and welcome to the results for card group number 3. I will quickly go over the announcements just in case you were one of the ones who skipped ahead. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, February 17th if you want to be in the running to win our February giveaway. Every week that you do that, for every pick a card reading, it increases your chances of winning because your name goes in the hat an additional time. Also, make sure that you click down below to get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want audio class. That audio class is over an hour long and it is available for only $9.99. It is a very popular class that I had released before, and I got several requests to re-release it. So it is available again, but this is the last week to get it at that price, and then it will probably go away. So make sure you get it and you get instant access to it as soon as you purchase it. Make sure that you go back and listen to, if you haven't already, or watch my video, Everybody's in Aquarius, including you, parts 1 and 2, because depending on when you're watching this, the beginning of this week, we're still in Aquarius season. No matter what your sun sign is, you need to know what to do during Aquarius season, because it will help you to have a successful Pisces season. That's how you make a whole successful year for yourself, because you have all 12 signs of the zodiac in your chart. So you want to know what to do for all 12 signs. And speaking of your chart, book a personal reading. You can get the Magic of Me Intuitive Natal Chart reading, the full one where I look at your entire birth chart, or you can get the mini edition where I look at your sun, moon, and rising signs only. And then also get the Clarity Now reading if you have a specific question for your life, because this right here, you're not the only one who selected card group number 3. So if you want something that's specific for you, then you want to get the Clarity Now reading. And then lastly, well, probably not lastly, but anyway, go back and listen to the opening intuitive message. This was the first time that I actually read the bottom of the deck. I did that during the opening intuitive message. And so it's kind of like a bonus reading. And then that, along with what I shared in that message, is going to help you to have a deeper understanding of what I'm going to talk about here. So make sure you go back and listen to that at the beginning of the video. Subscribe to this channel and leave me a love offering. That helps me to know that you appreciate what I'm doing. I don't care if it's only $5. It's really not about the money. It's about the reciprocity. All right. So, bam, you all got an amethyst. I want to say this is one of the first amethysts that I personally received. So it's one of my favorite stones. And amethyst is one of those stones that I feel everybody should have anyway, because it does so much. It is known for like its higher, that crown chakra kind of higher wisdom, divine connection type of energy that it has. But it also can help with grounding you. It can also help you with accomplishing goals that you have in your life, for keeping yourself calm, for helping you to walk through life with more clarity and intention. So an amethyst stone is one of those stones that just does so much that if I had only 5 stones that you list the 5 stones to have, amethyst would be in the top 5. So you know what I always tell you to do if you want to know more about this stone? Guess what? You got to Google. Use your internet tools and Google amethyst to learn more. All right, so this week we are looking at what you most need to know, do, and be aware of in order to manifest your desires. Aquarius season is all about being a visionary and knowledge, just knowing, intuitive knowledge. And then we're going into Pisces season this week also, which deals with imagination and dreams. So why not turn all of that into your manifested desires? Get it? So this card on the bottom is your general wisdom and guidance. The card that crosses it lets you know what can help or hinder you at this time. And then this card is kind of like an outcome card. All right. So you receive the Queen of Cups, and she is crossed by the 5 of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups, and she is crossed by the 5 of Pentacles. All right. Yeah, I had that right. I had to see who was crossing who. All right. So the Queen of Cups, and she's crossed by the 5 of Pentacles. How does this connect to manifesting for you? I'm going to go ahead and say it one more good time. Please go back and listen to the opening intuitive message, because the card that was revealed at the bottom of the deck is very much connected to this woman right here, this Queen of Cups. They're kind of like sisters in a kind of way. I ain't going to tell you here because you got to go back and watch it. But the Queen of Cups is definitely intuition. She is emotion. She is pure emotion and devotion. Emotion and devotion. She is feeling. She is intuition. The good thing, what I like about the Queen of Cups is that she really does, whenever she appears, she reminds you that it is, it's important to tap into your feelings, to tap into your emotions, into your heart energy, the purest of your heart energy, right? And sometimes in this world, we are oftentimes very discouraged to feel. We're discouraged. We know a lot of times people even equate emotions with weakness, but she's not a queen for no reason. She sits in a power seat because of her emotions. Her emotions give her clairvoyance, if you will. Her emotions give her divine intuition. And so how you feel is going to really help you in your intuition this week. Because how you feel, I like even how I believe it's Abraham Hicks who talks about that a lot. Like your emotions are a guidance system, really. So how you feel is not necessarily the outcome, but how you feel kind of lets you know on what level you're vibrating. So if you're feeling sad, then it's hard for you to manifest what you desire, because if you're residing in the feeling of sadness, then you won't attract to you something that's good. You're only going to keep attracting to you more sadness, more depression, more, whatever. So the emotion of sadness itself isn't a bad thing. A lot of times people want to downplay emotions, but the emotion itself isn't a bad thing because it's indicating to you where you are on the map. And if you're detached from your emotions, then you won't know why you're attracting what you're attracting. Bam. All right, that brings clarity as to why this is crossed by the Five of Pentacles. So some of you have been attracting, the Five of Pentacles is a card, actually is a card of financial depression, of lack, of not enough, and of struggle, of paycheck to paycheck, of not really coming through, or perhaps maybe having had a lot and then had something happen that really just takes away from your money big time, and then on a spiritual level, it does indicate spiritual depletion, spiritual lack, spiritual not enough. And so some of you, again, this is a general reading, so I have to give several examples because you're not the only one who selected card group number 3. But for some of you, you have perhaps been experiencing or are in the vibe to experience financial lack, financial not enough, financial depression, or spiritual lack, spiritual not enough, spiritual depression, spiritual depletion, like you're just not spiritually fulfilled, and that could be because you're out of sync with your emotions. The Queen of Cups is saying, if you pay attention to how you feel, then you'll know why you keep attracting these things, because you're perhaps someone who is thinking that your feelings aren't a big deal. You might even be one of those people. Some of you are probably that person who is like, well, I feel this way because I don't have what I want. And if I had what I want, then I wouldn't feel this way. You get what I'm saying? I feel sad. And so I won't feel sad anymore when I can finally have, happiness or peace or love or whatever. And so when I have happiness or peace or love or whatever, then I won't feel sad anymore. But the Queen of Cups is saying, it's your feelings that keep bringing to you the spiritual or financial depletion that you don't want. So you've got to cultivate within yourself. The Queen of Cups is the queen of the emotional world. And it's through your emotions that you draw to you and manifest what you want. So she is saying, well, you've got to change your own emotional standpoint. You've got to feel something different, even while you don't see something different to feel different about. Get it? Otherwise, it won't be manifestation. Manifestation is bringing into your physical world what doesn't appear to be there yet. So the abundance that you desire, abundance of money, abundance of opportunity, abundance of wealth, abundance of spiritual growth and fulfillment, comes through already feeling it before you see it. If you're waiting to see it before you feel it, then you're working in opposition to the whole process. Manifestation is manifesting, the saying, that you manifest who you are, right? It's becoming more of what you already have. And so if what you already have is what you already have is the thing that you focus on the most, right? So if all you're focusing on is what you don't have, the lack that you feel, the not enough, whether it's not enough financially or just maybe feeling not enough as a person or not enough in your spirit, if that is your your abundant way of thinking and feeling all day long, every day, for a week, for a month, for a year, then that's what you're going to keep manifesting, because you are literally communicating to the universe that please give me more of this that I'm feeling. So the Queen of Cups is saying to you, adjust your feelings. You can't manifest what you don't have if you don't already feel it first. It's not about feeling, it's not about having it and then feeling it. Again, otherwise that wouldn't be manifestation. Manifestation is already being it and feeling it and knowing it before you see it. So you have to already become it, even while the conditions of your life appear to be lackful, appear to be not enough, appear to be in a depressive state, whatever. While things appear that way, you have to already feel like abundance, feel like more than enough. You know, it's so interesting that when you talk to or when you watch interviews of people who became wealthy or became, you know, very spiritually abundant or financially abundant, and they talk about their humble upbringing, and they always say things, a lot of them always say things like, I didn't even know I was poor, you know, because, you know, we always had food on the table. I didn't know it wasn't the best until I got more money, and I realized, you know, I didn't realize, you know, I didn't have the best toys when I was a kid because I played with what I had like it was the best. You know, that's how you have to be. You have to convince yourself now that you're not poor, that you're not in lack. And poverty is not just financial poverty. It's all, you know, spiritual poverty, emotional poverty, you know, love poverty, as well as financial poverty, you know? So you have to begin to enjoy life, love life, feel good every day. Find a reason to feel good every day, even while things may appear to be counter to that. And then that's how you change your work. That's when you become a master manifester. The best manifestors, nobody's a master manifester when they already, when they don't have anything in their life that appears opposite of what they want. No, you become a master manifester when you're turning water into wine. You know what I'm saying? When you can turn water into wine in your life, like I'm speaking figuratively now, you know, when you can turn something that appears one way into something that appears wonderful, that's true. That's manifestation at its highest, at its highest. And again, I don't care if you're not an Aquarius or a Pisces. I'm not, you know, but we're in Aquarius and Pisces season this week. Two signs that deal with master manifestation when they're operating at their highest form. So we all got to tap into that energy. You can't, both Aquarius and Pisces signs teach us all, because those signs are in your chart somewhere. The sun might not have been there when you were born, but it's in your chart somewhere. Both of those signs teach you how to go beyond what you see to manifest something new, you know. And so you have to go beyond what you see. That's why this Queen of Cups is saying, go into your feeling. Ask yourself, what is my dominant feeling most of the time? If most of the time I'm feeling upset, down, frustrated, disappointed, whatever, then I'm going to keep manifesting this lack and not enough. So I've got to change my feelings. I have to intentionally find reasons every day to feel good and not be moved by what I see with my natural eyes, but only be moved by what I see by what this amethyst represents, your higher self eye, your third eye, and your crown. Be moved by what you see in the spirit. Feel emotionally good because you know that something good is coming to you. So adjust your feelings, adjust your state of being, and then your circumstances will change. And so the outcome card wow, gosh, wow, you're the second one to get the Lovers. Wow, okay. Love. Love. The Lovers card, yes, obviously deals with lovers, but it also deals with making moral choices, whatever morality means for you, doing what you know is right. This is a good week for you to do what you know is right. Sometimes when we're in desperate situations, we're in this Five of Cups Five of Pentacles energy, and we're thinking about what we don't have and the lack and how it's not fair and when are things going to change or when is this going to stop, blah, blah, blah. Then we get into a state of desperation, which causes us to make choices that actually aren't for our highest good, actually keep us bound in the limitation. So the Lover's card, because it also indicates making wise choices so that you can continue to experience that love energy, you're highly encouraged this week to make choices that are for your highest and best good. So if you're making choices because you feel bad, I'm just going to do this because I feel bad. No, you need to make choice. What would the Queen, ask yourself, what would the Queen of Cups do when she's feeling good? What choices would you make when you're walking in abundance and prosperity and spiritual wisdom and spiritual, what choices does that person make? Those are the choices you need to make this week. You don't need to make choices from your lower self. All the choices and decisions that you make this week need to be from your highest standpoint, for your highest good, that increase your wisdom, that increase your joy, that increase your abundance. Even the story behind this card, I mean, whether you believe it or not, is like comes from that Adam and Eve story, right? And here they were in the Garden of Eden, where all of their needs were supplied to them, and all they had to do was remember that they were already like God. They didn't have to do anything else to become like God. They already were like God. Remember your God divine self. Remember your higher self. You are already that person. So be that person. Make choices as though you are already that person, and then watch your physical world, because the pentacles also represent the physical world. Watch your physical world, your physical conditions change, because you're making better choices for yourself. You're already making choices like somebody who is financially abundant and wealthy and prosperous. You're already making choices as somebody who has everything good to live for. All right. So the wisdom card that came for you. Wow. Chaos and conflict. Yeah, that sounds about right. Based on everything that I've shared with you. The chaos and conflict, as it indicates, is when things are so out of order and you forget that you get so caught up in what's out of order that you forget that it gives you a chance to put things back in order it gives you a chance to redesign your life the way you want. So you can't be overcome by the disorder, the chaos, and the conflict, but you have to use those for your highest good, to put things back together, not even back together the way they used to be, but back together in a way that now you want them to be. So even this is a form of manifestation. So chaos and conflict says disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need, and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. The relationship message says, stubbornness is keeping you in a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict that deep down you want to be resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, what's really important to you. Some things are non-negotiable. If that's true, it's not necessary to fight. Can you find a way through the stormy emotions to find higher ground? Soon the air will clear and you will be in a much better place than before, for the storm will have passed, blazing a path for new growth in its wake. Things can become electric and enlightened, always better than before if you use this time constructively. And the prosperity message says circumstances appear to be chaotic, but everything that is happening now is in truth shaking things up so you can find the real path to your prosperity. Yes, it's a stormy time and it feels as if there are opposing forces wherever you turn. Be reassured that there is divine purpose in this chaos. Everything that doesn't work is being taken from you so the truest parts of yourself remain. The events occurring now are essential for your ultimate prosperity. This chaos is divinely inspired, even though it doesn't appear that way now. In time, you will know this to be true. So that really just makes a whole lot of sense to me. Even why the Lover's card came up, again, this could be, conflict in your love relationships, but I really feel for a lot of you, it's really leaning on this other meaning, which is that it's time for you to make your choices have to be higher. Your choices, meaning of your higher self, of of the divine. You can't make decisions right now that are lower, that are petty, that are just going to keep you in the argumentative stage, that's going to keep you manifesting over and over again the emotional or financial or spiritual poverty that you don't want. Make higher choices based in wisdom and love, so that you can use this time, anytime or any area of your life that's in chaos and conflict, to rebuild and put things in order in a healthier way. So the chaos and conflict is no different than when you clean up your house. It looks worse before it looks better because you're pulling everything out, you're clearing everything, and but when you put everything back, it's so much cleaner and neater and in order. That's what you're doing with your life right now. As long as you see the chaos as your friend, that is your ally, that's going to help you put things in proper order, instead of seeing the chaos as something that's just going to keep bringing. It's your choice if you're going to allow the chaos to keep bringing lack and not enough into your life, or are you going to use it for your highest good? Which one will you choose? All right. So that is it for our reading for February 16th through the 22nd. Again, make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday the 17th if you want to be entered to win our February giveaway. Get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. This is the last week it will be on sale. And book your own personal reading, as well as leave a love offering or donation down below if this reading has helped you in any kind of way. Subscribe to this channel, and I think that's it. Make sure you go back and listen to the opening intuitive message as well. Okay, so thanks again for watching, and until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. All right, thanks for watching the reading for February 16th through the 22nd. Make sure you comment your card selection down below by Monday, February 17th, to be in the running to win our February giveaway. Make sure that you get the 9 keys to manifesting what you want. This is the last week it will be on sale for only $9.99, and you get instant access to the full 1-hour audio class as soon as you download and purchase your copy. Also, book your own personal reading. Those links are down below. Subscribe to this channel. And then also support this channel and this free work by leaving a love offering, also known as a donation. No donation is too small or too big. It's all about the law of reciprocity. And so you can do that down below as well. So until we speak again, I am wishing you all so much peace and love. Thanks for watching.